If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. Every time I do something different or make a change to my camper, it's quite incredible how many people will tell me, you can't do that or it won't work. I really feel like that if you're going to come out here, you need, and you're going to do research, you need information that is going to really tell you what the lifestyle is like. When I make a video and tell you, okay, we're going to try this, and I get these comments to say, oh, you can't do that, or no, that won't work, it tells me that my reality videos are working. But what I really hope is that you understand that my reality videos are working. Because if you're saying I can't, or that won't work, then you need to really examine yourself to determine if you really should attempt this lifestyle. And the reason I say this is because every time, like I said, every time someone tells me it doesn't work, I've always proven them wrong. And the reason I prove them wrong, the reason I know things are going to work, is because I say it's going to work. Not that I'm some sort of smart guy or anything. I just look at things and say, well, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make it work, because I can do it, and it will work. And I'm going to give you a few examples. We started out our adventure in a pop-up camper. Before we even started, my landlord, when I told him what we were doing, he says, you're going to do that in a pop-up camper? Yep. Oh, you can't do that. It won't work. Well, we did do it. And we did very well in the camper. While we were in the pop-up camper, we had to go to Missouri in December. And of course, everybody said, oh, you can't do that. There's no way you can live in a pop-up camper in the winter. Well, we did. And we did pretty good. I mean, granted, we had hookups to electric, so we had an electric space heater and our Mr. Heater portable buddy, but I mean, we did fine. I don't think there was ever a day that we were uncomfortable. The coldest it got was 14 degrees. The reason it is important that you understand that we did do it is if you said we couldn't do it, well, that might mean, in reality, and no offense, is maybe you couldn't do it. And so you need to realize with these reality videos that living in a pop-up camper for you in the wintertime at 14 degrees is not doable for you. You're going to have to do something different. Okay, so then we had the pop-up camper fire. And we started building the truck camper. Now, the reason we built it the way we did, because we were worried about weight. Our truck can only hold 1,400 pounds. It's a 4-cylinder. So we had to design something that the truck could handle. So we used lightweight materials. Now, I know even today people are saying, oh, Luan wouldn't work, which is what we use for the outer skin. Luan won't work. It's not going to work. I remember one guy said, oh, I built my camper exactly the way you built yours. Oh, wow, that's pretty odd. What's the odds in that happening? Two people building a camper exactly the same way. But he said, and I was driving down the road and it was raining and the rain got into the Luan and just ripped it apart. And I thought, wow, I don't seem to be having this issue. But even at that, you know, instead of saying, oh, that ain't going to work, that won't work, it's not going to work, or we should be saying, yes, it did work, it worked great. The thing protected us from the outside elements for as long as we've had it. And it would still be protecting us. I mean, it's getting where we need to do some maintenance, but that's the thing, is you have to do maintenance on campers. You have to. Homemade camper or not. A lot of people say, oh, you should buy a camper. Well, those manufactured campers are not designed to be lived in. They're terrible. They fall apart. They start leaking. Every person I've known who's owned an RV for any length of time complains about the roof leaks. It leaks. Well, no different than what happened to my camper. It just, I mean, we never leaked, but we started having some issues, and it was really easy and cheap to fix. The second thing is it was inexpensive. So if I'd have said, oh, this ain't going to work, it's not going to work, our adventure would have been over. There's no way we could have slept in the cab of the truck for as long as it would have taken a camper that was reasonably priced to replace our camper. Well, sure enough, we had to go back to Missouri for the winter again, this time in our truck camper, which was much better designed than our pop-up camper. Again, everybody said, oh, you're never going to be able to survive in that camper in Missouri temperatures. Well, I mean, I knew we could. I absolutely knew we could because we did in a pop-up camper. I knew that we probably could get down to negative 15, 20 degrees before we even really worried about it. And we did. We survived the winter down to 2 degrees and 20 inches of snow. Thing that's spectacular. Other than the little paint issue, which we've already got resolved. Well, now finally, we're down in Florida and we've bought this corrugated plastic. Sure enough, a lot of people are telling me, oh, that's never going to work. It's going to blow right off. I'm hearing the same exact things that I heard when we put the Luan on. That lasted over a year and still is there. My suspicions are it's going to work great because I'm going to keep an eye on it and I'm going to make it work. That's the thing. Even if it does pop loose, so I'm going to pull off to the side of the road and I'm going to figure out why it's doing what it's doing. I'll make a temporary repair until I can get somewhere where I can, make an adjustment to my idea. It will work. Absolutely will work. Because I'm going to make it work. And so today's theme is, if you feel like you can't do something that I'm showing you in these videos, then you really need to rethink whether you should do this lifestyle or not. I can't live in the wintertime in an RV. Well, chances are you will end up living in the wintertime in an RV for some reason. I mean, trust me, there's no reason why I ever would have thought that I was going to live in the wintertime in an RV in Missouri. But I had to. I mean, it's just something that ends up happening. You have to do it. You have to plan for the worst, hope for the best, and if you can't do that, using the word can't, then maybe you shouldn't do that. So, thanks for watching. Click like if you like the video, and happy travels.